gets mad if you're late.
Yeah. We are live.
Alrighty, we're live. Once somebody gets on, please let me know if you can hear and see us okay. Rohin, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, Mike. I'm good, thanks. Living my dreams. How about yourself? Good?
I literally could not be better.
All right, that's great. That's great. Had a pretty busy day today with work and family and all that stuff, but at this tough time of the year as well.
Awesome. Can't complain about that. We will give it another few minutes, and then we'll get into it. But
Sure.
Jafar, hey, what's up, buddy? He says I can hear you. Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. I forgot to send out an email, so we will do that while we're getting warmed up. In fact, why don't you go ahead and get into it, and I'll type up an email and get some more folks on.
All right, that's great. We can do that.
Screen, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to switch it on my screen now.
All right.
That's 1, 2, and 3. Let me know if it's all good, guys.
There you go.
All right, so I hope everyone can see my screen, what's going on at my end. All right, so is that good? Chris, can you see my screen as well?
You're good, buddy. Go ahead.
All right,
go for
great.
it.
All right, so we are going to cover out 3 different projects today, and it's a website audit which was requested for 3 of them. So the very first one has been given by Sane Go from Singapore, I think, and Sane wants to rank his site Singapore rental office for a few different terms, and one of a bigger one is Singapore rental office. So I tried to look into this particular one, and we've got a few different projects, which is another one is Transponder Solution. It's more about locksmith, commercial locksmith, that kind of terms, automotive locksmith. And the third one is about pest control from Perth. So we're going to cover all these 3 sites today. All right. So with the office rental, Singapore rental office, by saying what I did, the first thing, I picked that site. I ran that via Screaming Frog to see what the condition of the site is, how is it doing. So the crawl, everything was finished. I filtered out that one with HTML because these are the only pages. I don't want to see any JavaScript or that kind of stuff. So I want to see all the HTML pages, which does have some value. So when I looked at this one, these are all the pages. I can see no 404 code, which is great. Apart from that, there are FAQs, there are some local shared and way, that kind of suburbs and everything too. So, and I think Sane is more concerned about his main root domain. So if I look at this one, I'm gonna notice, these are all the meta titles, and some of them are pretty weird. So I don't know, maybe they don't want to focus on this one, or maybe they are system generated meta titles. And then for the description, majority of them doesn't have any meta description too. So that's another opportunity up here. So to go and add the meta description for these pages as well. All right, so what I did, and I exported this one. I tried to run a crawl and say so response code, we have already checked that, H1s, and then we have got content. This is a new tab which has been added by Screaming Frog version 13. So you can go and check it out, all different kind of errors. We can see if there is any page which has called like exact. In this case, it's none, near, another thing. And we can even see low content pages. That's a big one. So all these pages are low content. These are the word counts which are on the pages. So if saying, if you think like these pages do need to get ranked for some terms too, because these are the specified specific address kind of thing. So it looks like there's some listings, so property listings, yes. So maybe that's why it doesn't want any kind of like content on these pages. But again, so coming back to the site, I've written some notes for this site as well. But what I'll do is I'll use SEO meta in one click to look around the title, meta description. It looks like the page has 2 H1s and some H2s and all that. So if you look at the header tag, we can say the H1 is testimony from clients, our clients. So yes, that's where the missing opportunities are. So Definitely we need office rentals, Singapore office rental space, that kind of terms to be in our H1, because that's how Google actually understand what the page is all about. So these are really required, and I've already mentioned in my notes too. Apart from that, some H2s are there which are a bit relevant, but again, it's probably be a good idea to have geographical location mentioned in H1, which should be only one H1 on the page. And then with H2s, we probably be, if we have got like 2 to 3 H2s, then one of them at least should be having geographical location as well. So it's always beneficial, you know. And then all tags, they are pretty much missing on all the images on site. All right, so let's come to the notes really quickly, and then we'll go to the backlink side as well. So hashtags we have already mentioned. So this is where we need to go and fix them up. The homepage hashtags are not optimized at all. So there needs to be like title, topic plus geo-relevancy, so geographical location. It should be something like this. Website speed is about like 7 seconds, so there are a lot of images we are heavy, so need to compress all those images. Have to install, probably be good to install WP Rocket or Nitro back. It's one of a pretty good one. I don't know how much. It's about like $35, I think, what they charge. But they skyrocket the speed of the website. We are trying to use that service on few of our domains too, but WP Rocket can do the work as well. All right, so apart from homepage, none of the pages has meta description, as we have already said. Numerous pages on the website has low content. We have already seen in, if we go to Screaming Frog again, under content, under this low content one, we can see all these pages which doesn't have much content. So if you think like there is some content actually is required, or you want to actually rank these pages in search engine, so definitely we need to add some content in that too. All right, so apart from that, website doesn't have any backlinks, which we will see soon. Schema markup is missing. So if you go to data structure tool, we throw the website, we're going to see there is no schema markup available on the site. Interlinking is missing because there is not much pages on the site too. And so what I thought it's a good idea is, very first thing, as like we said, there are not much pages available on the site. So it's very important to actually expand the site content too. So what kind of topics can be beneficial up here? It's something like office space for rent, shop space for rent, kind of another page which can be added. So office space for rent is one page, shop space for rent, commercial property for rent, shop for rent in mall. These kind of terms can be very beneficial to be added to this domain, because they are pretty relevant to each other, and these terms has got some search volume too. So I think if you go and create like a specific pages for these ones and try to add city level content, like a Singapore relevant content up there, and topic plus Singapore relevant content, and you're gonna see them ranking up pretty quickly too. So point some backlinks to a proper interlinking from your home page. It should be interlinking to the other different page, because these are different categories you are targeting. And then from these pages, try to get them back to the home page. So try to build up a proper silo, and you're gonna see these pages gonna start ranking too. Apart from that, probably be better for topical relevancy to actually start adding out more blog posts. So blog posts can be like co-working versus traditional office space, how to rent an office space in Singapore. That can be another kind of terms you can use. How startup these days prefer to work for co-working environment, extra. This type of term. How to register a company in Singapore. That can be another one. So that's going to help to build out a topical and even the geographical relevancy to the pages too. So that thing is going to help to scale the website in overall. So hashtags are really important. That's something that if you're not really working on this one, then the first thing you definitely have to work is your hashtags, because they are completely unoptimized at the moment. If you look at the backlinks, all right, so the website doesn't have any backlinks at all. So it's actually has one backlink pointing back to it. So you need to go and build some citations. I think we have covered that. Okay, yeah, all right. How to build backlinks for this particular domain? We'll start with building foundational links. It can be the Google Stack. or even branded profiles. Branded profiles are like your brand related profiles. You go and log on different Web 2.0 platforms. If they allow to add a blog post, you can always go and add some blog posts on that and link back to your pages. That's going to help to build a topical and geographical relevancy. And Google has got a lot of crush on brands, so definitely going to help with that too. GMB that's missing at the moment, so definitely you need to go and build out a GMB too, because you're a local business. You need to tell Google that I'm a local business and I live in this area, and GMB is one of a way to prove them that yes, I do live in this area, because they literally send a postcard and they know that you're not kind of a dummy business which has registered a domain and trying to do something. So you actually, with the GMB, you tell them. So optimize the GMB properly. When we say optimized, you need to go and add a proper GMB description to that, add blog posts to them, and some images. Although Google do strip out the exit data, geotag images, those ones, but you can still give it a try. Eventually it helps to bring in the more engagement too, and even ask the clients for testimonials, because that's UGC, user generated content, and that's really very helpful in way to rank in better in SERPs. So reviews and that kind of things actually work very well. Once that foundational link part is done, at the same time probably you can do it together. So build citations. There are plenty of citation guys available on Legit, and you can go and ask them to build out like 30 to 40 citations for Singapore. I don't know how many Singapore directories are available, but yes, that's something is helpful. You can go even add an event kind of thing too. So go to Google, add an event, and then write Singapore next to that. And if there are a few profiles which do let you to add even, because Singapore is a small in itself. I don't know how many directories or something we're gonna get it, but at least give it a try. Once that part is done, then just focus on rank tracker, see what kind of movements, everything you are getting in rank tracker, and start building out the GPs and link insertions kind of thing. You can try from Chris Store, you can try other guys on Legit as well, and try to build some niche areas, link insertion and GPs, guest posts for this one. And that's all pretty much you need to do. And you definitely, if you use all these things, you're going to see pretty good results coming in, because I've checked the other competitors too before coming to the live stream. I noticed something like what they are doing. Those competitors are a bit weak. So if you do the SEO stuff, these mandatory things properly, especially GMB, hashtags, and probably adds the other categories too, you're going to see the results all by itself. And yes, don't forget to build the backlinks. It's really going to be helpful as well. So that's all about it for Singapore rental office, and I'm sure to get us updated with this one, what the outcome is, and that's it about this one. So let's jump into the next project we got. It's a Transponder Solution, and it's a Durban-based company, automotive locksmith in Durban. So that's what. So the very first thing right off the bat, what I can see is CRO. It looks like definitely from the CRO point of view, you have to do some work, because no matter if the site gonna get ranked in top of SERPs, it still won't convert really well. So because to convert the site, to let the people to call you and book an appointment or call you for any kind of like emergency services, they need to have a trust. And I can't really build any kind of trust at the moment, looking at how the field is. So I don't know, maybe you are thinking to actually get it ranked first, and then you are planning to start spending out the money on the design pattern. But yes, design is really required. When I clicked on this Transponder Solution, I thought like it's a GMB kind of thing, but it takes me to Google search results. So I don't know how someone gonna leave a review on Google. I don't know how they're gonna do it, because they're probably gonna pick it out any other guy and they will go and book an appointment with them. Although the search query is very different. So yes, that's something you need to fix for sure. These are like these kind of links. So it's a Rara theme. So you need to actually get rid of this one. So go to the theme editor in your WordPress dashboard, and go to footer.php and just get rid of this one. We don't need this. So probably remove this this kind of terms. It's eventually like over the time when you're gonna build authority and backlink juice, you're eventually giving the backlink juice to them too. Although it's no follow, but still. So that's the call to action button is up here, which is great. Now let's when I look for this particular site in GMP, so let's take it really quickly and show you guys how I'm doing it. So if you go to google.com/maps and throw in Transponder Solution. Alright, so it's slow. Alright, I can't really see anything up here. So Channel View Road and Tim Boulevard. Let's see what the address is on the site itself. All right, I can't really say 100% because I can't see any sign. So that thing needs to be worked out too. So GMB, again, the same thing, build a GMB listing description properly, add probably around 1,000 words of content to that one. I don't know what the limit is, but that's what my team usually do. And do build GMB posts. When you go and visit any site, ask the client for a proper review too, because the review is really going to help to build the GMB 3-pack listing over time. And yes, the logo is something you need to look at as well because it looks a bit shiny at the moment. All right, so let's look what the heading tags is about. Again, this site has got 2 H1s, automotive locksmith in Durban. I think the client only do the automotive locksmith, not the residential or commercial one. So that's car keys locksmith, transporter key locksmith, so that kind of terms. Let's look at the H1. So Transponder Solution and Transponder Solution, again, H1 is coming up twice. Definitely we need to go and fix up the H1 too. So what you can actually do is for that one, let's say if it's automotive locksmith. So I'll go to Google and I'll put automotive locksmith London and Ontario, it's London. So try to make it like a proper relevant one. So it's something like that. Auto locksmith, London, car locksmith, that kind of things, or auto locksmith in London 24 hours. It's a pretty good one. And what you can do is you can replace that London with your Durban. And so and with the same thing, you can do it with a meta description, as I've already mentioned in the last few live streams. We do it all the time because there are few terms which my team who are offshore who don't really understand that. These are particular terms for in the US market, we used in Australian or UK market, so they don't really understand that. But this is one of the technique we use, and we have never ever seen any penalty at all using this. It's been so long we're doing it, so you can use it too. So you need to go tweak your H1s, you need to go tweak your meta title, meta description accordingly, and do a bit of a work. So you can use the same technique, go and check it out, what kind of H1 and everything they are doing, and that really gonna be very, very helpful, I reckon. So once that is done, you need to go, and if you look at the service area pages, so and I think these are the 2 pages only which is worth looking, because apart from that is more like images and everything in SERPs. So these are the images what you're using. It should be geotagged images too, because Google can actually read that. So you can geotag them using some software, or I think there's one of the software. Maybe Chris can say that, because and that's one of Jim. He built that software for geotag images. All right. So and then I can see you have got all these different city or suburb level pages up here. And they're just mentioned up here. What you can do is you can go and build individual pages on these one too. Now, if some of them, and I'm presuming that you can actually cater out all these areas, and so it's really beneficial. You probably don't need to go and build all of them in a single go. You probably can do it use the same structure pattern and ask the writer to build locksmith, automotive locksmith in Durban Beach, in South Beach, in North Beach, that kind of pages. And if you can arrange for a few of them at least, whichever you think has got a good search volume, if you can arrange a GMB for them too, which is superb. that really going to help. If not, then still at least you can build the pages and link them properly in a silo structured way in your website. And over the time, you're going to start ranking for individually for these websites too. Because take it this way, I don't think so. If this is one of a bigger term, so let's say Durban Beach. I don't know how far is Durban at the moment. I'm not really sure about it, but I'm just thinking it this way: like if Google works on a proximity way, works on proximity, they can't really rank a Durban overall national guy from a city guy. They need to give a preference to the city guys first of all. So that's one of the reason why I'm saying that you need to go and create a city level pages, because so that's something you can say. Warner Beach, this guy has got a separate city page. And all right, this is same site. You try to use the same kind of pattern. That's what I'm saying. Car locksmith, this one. Car locksmith, this one. So use it, and you're gonna see the difference. These pages gonna get ranked all by itself because of your domain authority you're gonna build to your home page. And if you got a silo structure coming in your site, that really gonna help in ranking them out over time. So that's something what I really think of. We can check it out what the site speed is, but all that's not really required because I think the site is very new. All right. So what notes I've got up here? All right, backlinks. Let's see backlinks, and then we'll come here. At the moment, the site has got 8 backlinks, and all 8 of them, when I check, they are citations. So definitely. So all right, these are all citations. So definitely need to go and do a bit of work on that too. So need to go and build backlinks. This is kind of a same pattern because it's a new site and it's a local as well. So we can actually start with DAS profiles. You can start with a foundation in Google Stack and even a branded profile. So once that is done, go and build more citations for that brand, and then jump straight onto GPs and link insertion kind of thing. Because I can actually recommend outreach links too, but it's not really required. Reason being, it's a local site, so local sites do rank pretty well with GPs and link insertion. And if you're going to use the technique I mentioned in last live stream, where you, if let's say your word is car locksmith Dublin, so rather than just writing out any single article and sending out to any blogger to post it out, write it down an article on a car locksmith, how to find best car locksmith in Durban, that kind of thing, and then try to mention in first 100 words the keyword again, and that really gonna helpful. They're gonna be very helpful because that's what Google wants to see. And when they scan the site, they think it's highly relevant to that and give us a credit for it. All right, so that's a backlinks part. Few pages only, so need to start building the suburb level, city level pages, like I said. So when you build a suburb level page, you can actually add, if you got a schema for that particular page, like for example, a GMB for that particular location, do add GMB schema specific to that location on that page. If not, then at least build a page with which gonna start talk about the locksmith, car locksmith first of all, and then underneath you can talk about the Durban itself, and then the H1, everything gonna be focused around car locksmith, Durban, your URLs and all that. All right, so to the city level page, make sure we talk about locksmith and city pages like we have already mentioned. H1 tag needs to be optimized. So at the moment, what you can see, your H1s for homepage is Durban, Transponder Solution. So needs to be get rid of one of a hashtag. I think maybe it's because of logo. I'm not sure. It depends on theme to theme, but have one H1, but optimize it properly, and then we can use the same technique like I've said, and to see what the competitors are doing in the bigger cities and try to replicate the same thing too. It's this technique. See, if you are writing this stuff by yourself, you can do it pretty well because you understand your business, you know what it is. You can actually try to involve some copywriting too. But if you are actually giving to your VA who don't really understand everything, maybe he doesn't have a proper copywriting skills, and this is where this technique gonna be helpful. And if we use it all the time, it's one of the best one. All right, and build separate pages for different categories. So, but I understand your site has got like automotive only. So maybe in that case, you just want to focus on the automotive side only. But if down the track, if you want to scale that site because it's a branded domain, Transponder Solution. If you want to scale it out, you can always go and expand it. Residential locksmith, commercial locksmith, that kind of terms too. So it's gonna be helpful. Look at try to add some topical blog posts. You can check it out, and people also ask, pick it out that particular topics and start writing out the blog post on those ones. They're gonna be your supporting articles, which will be helpful. So that's something what I reckon. And then GMB, we have already mentioned. You need to focus on getting the reviews from your clients. When you go over there, just ask them for a review, and that's a user-generated content. That's very, very helpful, and it's a free content in itself. And then what you can do is you can optimize your GMB listing with the proper keyword-rich content. Don't stuff too much keyword, because we have seen if you try to add too many keyword-relevant content in the GMB, then the GMB actually do get suspended as well. And that's another nightmare when you have to ask Google to release it and all that. I don't know how long they usually take these days. But try to make it natural. That's all I'm saying. And if few times in that 500 to 600 words content, if you're gonna mention your location, Durban, then it's always be helpful. So try to optimize that. And when it comes to try to add photos in that too. And what else can be done is GMB post. GMB post is a pretty good way that to leverage results, and that always help in snack pack rankings. All right, so that's all about this one. All right, we were looking for this one. 2.8 seconds is pretty good. You probably don't need to do much. It's 674. There are not many requests as well, so I think it's pretty good. It's for inner page. I'm sure for home page it's gonna be very much the same too. So probably leave it. You don't really need to do anything. And if you really want to do anything, you probably can just install WP Rocket and configure that out properly. But I don't really think it's required. All right, so CRO part, that's definitely you need to look at. All right, so, and we already mentioned about the backlinks, so this is great. All right, the very third site is Enviro and EcoSafe Pest Control. That's a site. Right off the bat, the very first thing what I can see is it's not secure. So yes, SSL certificate is really required up here. That's the first thing what I'll go without looking anywhere else. That's the first thing. And conversion site, the site itself is good. So can't really complain. So which is great. And they've got like different pages up here. And interlinking among all those pages has been done from the home page too. So friendly, aid, and all that. So it looks like they've tried to cover a lot of categories in here. Now let's check the. All right, so this 73 characters is fine, not problem at all. One H1 tag. So if we look at H1, all right, so pest control path, EcoSafe pest control path. That's still all right. And they've got all these H3s, which I reckon because of theme has created all this, which is all right. So homepage side is pretty good. I mean, like the on-page side is still quite better. They've covered all the schema markups and reviews and that kind of things too. It looks like they've got GMP listing as well, which is great. Now, if you come to the residential one, residential pest control, this page, and right, so looks like very similar structure. Let's look at the, so one H1 and all these are good. Residential pest control path, which is great. All right, so residential pest control path is H2, and let's see what's H1. Can't see H1 up here. That's, let me just see by page source. All right, so if I go at H1, all right, so professional pest control 24/7. Professional, it doesn't have a location, it doesn't have the word residential up here too, so that's something need to be fixed up. Now let's see where we got this word. Professional pest control. All right, so it's sitting up here. So yes, that's that thing. We probably need to change it to residential pest control 24/7 emergency service, and then it's very important to actually move it up, because that's how Google actually scan from the very top, and they try to look at different elements. So that thing is required. It looks like the interlinking. I can't really see any interlinking in this page, or actually there is interlinking up here. So that's still all right. So they've got like specific pages too. I'm not really going after all the different pages, but let's check it out really quickly at this one, and we'll see the backlinks portion too. So so it looks like that's what they're ranking for. And if we go to the backlinks, oops. What's that, guys?
Of course you do.
All right, so let's pick it up this domain and really see it really quickly what the backlink is all about. Because I remember when I checked the backlinks of this particular website, it was all citations. So citations, Web 2.0, forums, that kind of links. So probably definitely need to go and add some more juicy backlinks, which is in the form of niche edits, which can be in the form of GPs and all that. So that's really very important. Looks like GT metrics, they are very busy at the moment too. So I'll probably let it go in, and probably let it go in too. All right, so in the meantime, this one is 5.6 seconds, and it looks like the JavaScript images need to be optimized too. We can always go and click on this one. We can see what the problem is coming in. So, so yes, install Smush, WP Smush, or install short pixel kind of a plugins and compress those images without losing the quality, and install WP Rocket, and they're gonna actually get rid of all this JavaScript, that kind of issues. With the YP slow, it's more about CDN, they're saying, or say WP, try to add WP Rocket. I'm sure a lot of things gonna get resolved by that. All right, so if we look at the I don't know. All right, so let's go to backlinks now. DR 0.4. It looks like the backlink profile is very weak. So if it looks, this site has got 40 links coming to the root domain, and among them 18 are do follow, and I'm sure even those do follow are not good, or 16 among them are do follow live links. So if you look at all the live links, it looks like some crappy stuff. I can't really see. So Web 2.0, some forum link. I don't know what this is, because it's some image forum directory link. Again, the directory link. So yes, that's all. These links won't really be helpful at all. So at the moment, it looks like the site is all struggling to rank just by its own content only. So definitely just go and build more niche edits, build more GPs, and we're gonna see the results all by itself. So that's all the stuff, guys. It's pretty. I mean, like not just these three sites. We have seen in many different. So yeah, we have seen in many different sites that most of the time it's very generic stuff. So the people, they don't use interlinking. They don't do interlinking properly. They don't really go and optimize. That's one of underrated things. What they do, they don't really optimize their GMBs properly. So that's another thing. And apart from that, yes, schemas and backlink profile is one of a bigger one. You're gonna say it's always be a problem too. But that's all about today, Chris. And over to you, Mike.
All right, everybody, do me a favor and thank Rohin for that. That was 3 audits. That would be like $1,000 or more if you were if you charge for it. So it's very very kind of him to donate his time to take care of those. So everybody, please thank him, and we'll go ahead and take some questions. Jafar says it's his pleasure to join this live. Charlene says, yay, I made it. Hello, Charlene. Jim says, hi, everyone. All good.
Hey,
Sean says, awesome. Lars says, good to see you live on air. Ross, who I haven't seen you in a while, Ross, hope you're doing well, says, finally alive that isn't 2 a.m. for me. Hi, Chris. Tanvir says, hi, everyone. Hey, Tanvir.
Hey, Tanvir.
Tanvir says, can you make a tutorial for a proper way to build G-stacks?
Yeah, I think we do have a step-by-step tutorial for we use in our agency. It's a SOP, but it's very straightforward in itself. But I'll say, Tanvir, what I'll do is in the morning, it's a bit late here. In the morning, I'll try to say if we got anything in our knowledge base, and I'll send you a quick video for that then.
Awesome. You should put that on like your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I can actually put it on YouTube too. Yes.
Yeah. Eduardo says your audits are really good, Rohin.
Oh, thanks, Eduardo.
Florin says, hey, guys. Hey, Florin.
Hey, Florin.
Eduardo says you're late, Florin. Sean says, thanks a million. I learned a lot. Well, thank you, Sean. Utkarsh says, how to distinguish between good and bad backlinks? That's kind of a big question, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, see, any backlink, which when you look at the backlink and you get an intuition that it is not really a good one, then 90% chance it's not a good one. So that's how we do it, and probably over the time you're gonna learn too. So yes, if first thing first, you should not use your money keywords on Web 2.0s and that kind of things. I always say that Web 2.0s are more for the purpose of geographical and topical relevancy. They are very helpful, and you should do it. We do it all the time in our agency. That's the first thing we do it in the very first month. That we try to build a branded and foundation link, but you do not waste your money keywords on that one. Try to keep your money keywords for the heavy hitters and GPs, which is these link insertions or even the outreach links too. Try to keep them handy for that. Now, coming back to your question, what is a good and a backlink? Any kind of backlink which pass through editorial process, I always consider it as a good backlink. It doesn't mean that Web 2.0 where you can actually sign up and you can do it. It's a bad backlink. No, not at all. And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying you should not waste your money keywords on these Web 2.0. But yes, good links are the links which goes through a proper editorial process, where an editor is actually opening up his dashboard and try to add in that. It should be having a good metrics. The site should be having a good metrics. The site should be having traffic coming to it as well. And it's not like a shady site, so which where you are building and there is a mixed kind of content we added to that. So it's very hard to say in one single language that in simple answer that which is a good and which is a bad one. You need to actually see the backlink and just ask yourself, is it really worth to get a backlink from this place? If it's yes, then just go for it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that once you do it long enough, you just kind of get a feel for it. Like you know by looking at it, but you can't really give like this, and this kind of thing. So it says how to disavow bad backlinks. Just look for Google's disavow tool, and I think you can do it through Ahrefs as well.
Yeah.
Use Moz to find that. I'm not sure what you mean there. Maxime says, what extension is he using here?
Maxime, the extension is SEO Meta in one click. That's the one which I use to see any page backlinks on the fly. So SEO Meta in one click. So as you can see up here, I'm trying to. All right, so that's link. I'll throw it in the private chat, Chris, and you can pass on up here. So this is extension which I use, and it's pretty good. And apart from that, we do have like a different extension, but this is a primary one. And for GT Metrics has got a bookmarklet, so you can always go and add that bookmarklet to your bookmark bar. And whenever you go to any website, just press this one, and it's gonna open up in a new window the GT Metrics code for that site.
Awesome. Mike, he asked basically the same thing. What are you using to see the on page? Chris says ImageMeta.io for geotagging.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to remember. It's geometa.io. It's a pretty good one. Just upload the image, add your data, and download it. That's it.
Jim says, if you need someone for site speed, I know a guy. He's talking about monkey business on LinkedIn, which is him. What is GPs? That stands for guest post,
Yes.
which Chris was kind enough to answer. Thanks. The extension I was talking about was what he had a quick preview of all the meta on the page. That's what you just showed, right?
Yeah.
All right. I hate when it does that. Bon says, always helpful. Thank you, Masters, Rohin, and Chris. Thank you, Bon. That's very nice of you to say. Peter says, love these audits. Thanks, Rohin, or Chris. And I'm assuming he's going to thank you first.
Yeah, he's trying to call it as a brother. Thanks, Peter. Love you, man. That's great.
Stavros asks, what's the browser add-ons you were using? Oh, he just dropped that in the chat. That cost to be caught with the mobile. Yeah, I didn't know he was going to be done. I was checking in on my Clash of Clans. Chris is very busy with his mobile. Yeah, I literally was not being productive. I was playing Clash of Clans. So I apologize for that. Rohin, next time you got to warn me when you're going to turn the screen off.
You can reach out to me anytime, so you take a privilege for that.
Jim says, thank you. Mohammed says, Rohin, bro, you are awesome.
Thanks, Mohammed. I appreciate that, man.
Maxime says, thanks, Rohin. Ross says, what program are you using to see H tags and interlinking? We just dropped that in the chat a minute ago.
Yeah, that's one. And apart from that, Ross, Screaming Frog is my favorite one. I use it all the time, man. And they have introduced a lot of different things, especially that content grammar errors and all that. I don't know if you have missed that particular thing, but in the latest version, which is 13.1, they have added a content add-on to. So which means that you can literally say, like if there are any near duplicates or that kind of thing, or low content pages too. And you can all pick those orphan pages, send it to your writer and ask them to actually write the content and load it back.
All right. Sloan says, Eduardo, I'm at work, so I'm just listening mostly. You know, I remember those days. I used to listen to webinar. It was more webinars than live stream back then.
Yeah.
Much it changed, but I used to have to do that at work too. So
yeah.
Florin asks, how much do you charge for a full setup and rank of GMB? Do you do a GMB or no?
I don't prefer to actually do GMB, but if you optimize, see, when it comes to GMB, that's more kind of thing. You need to go, and we got vendors, and they simply give us all those GMB reviews and that kind of thing. They do it very smartly. They always get stick, and we optimize the website content properly. We go and optimize GMB. I was actually thinking of shoot some GMB videos as well, and that's gonna be very helpful because they're gonna tell you guys how you can go and write a post, GMB post, how you can add GMB meta descriptions. We've got a proper sample in place too. And I've got a guy, I don't know if that guy is on legit or not, but what I normally do is I send him the website URL and the GMB listing thing, and he just give me a 2800 words content, everything for it, and Chris knows about it. And then what we do is we send it the training videos and the thing to the client. I never tried to ask a team to log into their GMB and do it, because we have seen some Google hammers that way, and that actually suspend the listing when they see it to be open up from a different IP location. So Google is a bitch, they play with that kind of things. We always send it to the client with the proper training videos. But
and just to add to that, you know, GMB is really difficult right now in general.
Yeah,
There's a lot of weird stuff going on with it. And you can thank the people with lead gen sites for that. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Albert says, thank you guys. Big help. Thank you, Albert. Tanvir says, can you make a tutorial for the proper way to build G-Stacks? I think we covered that already. Troy says, do 301s work for SEO ranking? I don't do it anymore. I used to.
Yeah, I don't really do it either, but it still help. A lot of people, they use it. So all I can say as a very best answer is just give it a try. If you think it's working for you, then I don't know. It's very hard to say, because when you actually do a 301, a lot of people don't really understand that we are telling Google what used to live there now lives here. So that means you are telling Google that the relevancy of that particular domain, what used to be there, now this site is relevant to that too. the backlinks which are pointing to those pages are now relevant and pointing to this too. So it can go in your favor. It can actually drop your rankings too. It now up to the Google. I don't really do it, and that's one of the reasons why I can't really give a 100% accurate answer for it. But you got my point.
Alrighty. Craig says, "Hey all, very important question question for Chris. What level is your town hall? I am a 13. If you want to see my base, I don't know if I can get the lighting right, but there you go. That's me." So that's my town hall. That's, I'm sure, what you guys signed up for today. I'm a bit rushed, but you know. Maxime asks, "What is a Google Stack?"
Well, Google Stack is all about using Google properties. So that's Google Doc, Google Presentation, Google PPTs, that presentation thing, Google Spreadsheets, and Google Site. Google Site is a very big one. We used to rank. I know we never track those rankings now. We used to rank for some very big terms in SERPs for that. So yes, that's basically, we are using Google's authority to rank our sites. That's one of a way that Google, they love their babies, and you're gonna see not only your site gonna rank, a lot of Google properties gonna get ranked over time too. So that's how Google Stacks actually work.
Alrighty. Spencer asks, "Do you have a recommendation on GMB review vendor?" Well, I certainly do. That is linked to his profile. That is making online easy, and I'll show that on the screen because I get more money when people see legit. So yeah, he does a great job. You can see he did some for me a while back. Where is it? Yeah, you can see I've used him before. So does a great job. That's who I recommend. He's a little more expensive than most, but you know, you get what you pay for, right? So that is who I recommend for that. Utkarsh says, "Do PBNs work better for a money site?" Or did I miss somebody? I did miss a couple people, actually. I hate when it does that. Tebby Chiropractic and Sports Medicine Clinic of Bob Vance Refrigeration. There's your free plug, Alan. Thank you, Rohin. Still working on the new site. What's your best tool for discovering cannibalization?
Oh, that's a good question, Tebby. I usually rely on Href for most of the time, and that's kind of a different thing. What you need to look at, that depends on side to side, how aggressively you're looking at. I don't know if there is any particular tool which can tell you keyword cannibalization. So for example, let's say we have got a site, and we say we always take like 20 or 30 keywords, we put them in a rank tracker, and over the time we do notice, all right, this page is supposed to rank, but it's not ranking. The other page is ranking, which means that there is a problem, that this page is not ranking and some other page is ranking. So what you can actually do is de-optimize the page B, which is ranking, or move the content to page A, And second thing, what you need to do is from page B, which is ranking, give a link back to page A. So you are literally forcing Google and telling them that for this keyword, I want this page to get ranked, not the other page. So you're de-optimizing it and optimizing the other one, and interlinking creatively from your ranking page to the other page. So this is how we tackle with cannibalization. But again, the same thing, coming to your question, that's why rank tracker or Href. What we get to know when we see any pages which are supposed to be ranking for these keywords and they are not, and that triggers. I don't know. Apart from that, there are few people who have built some Excel sheets. I'm not aware about it. I've never tried that, to be honest. I'm more into marketing strategies and that kind of thing, and my team, they look after that stuff. Debbie.
All right. Troy asks, "So guest posts to you are best to grow rankings?"
Exactly. That's working for us. That's working for us like a charm. And I can't really see any project which we are doing and we are not pointing any guest post to it. It's one of the best technique, unless until you have got a patience and budget to run outreach campaigns. So outreach campaign, they are really throat cutting, and I don't really recommend for local sites. It's not really required. Yes, if you're working on big brands or e-commerce sites, then yes, maybe you can try infographic and that techniques too.
All right. Here we go. Utkarsh says, do PBNs work better for a money site or a guest post works better? I usually purchase these from Legit, by the way. Well, first of all, thank you very much for that. And now I'll let Rohin take the question.
They're both. I don't use PBNs. That's me. I use at the tier 2 level, but not at tier 1 level. But that's one of the reason is because I don't have a network myself. It's like few years back when I decided that I'll will only build links which we can control 100%. So if it's a guest post and that kind of things, we can always reach out to someone and can do it. But doesn't mean the PBNs are wrong. No, they are still pretty good. They work like champ. I'm in a mastermind with some of the very big sharpshooters. I mean, like that kind of guys, and they use PBNs to get the rankings. But it's working. So go for it. What you can do is you can put a little more stress on guest posts and do less PBNs, or other way around. That's your call, and depending on how you can see the movements in rankings. But yes, PBNs, guest posts, link insertions, these are the three things what I can really recommend at this stage, and what is going good in backlinks. So of course, there are a few other techniques too, but very time consuming.
All right. Michael, hey, what's up, Michael? Always good to see you. Says, speaking of 301s, if a business changes its brand name and establishes a new URL, would it be better to do a 301 from the old URL to the new URL, or set a landing page on the old site with a link to the new URL? I would say 301s at the URL level, like not just the whole domain, but URL for URL.
Exactly, and that's something you can do it via cPanel. Or else via htaccess won't work. Via cPanel, you can easily do it. So it should be via 301 from the URL to the new URL. So let's say there was a URL which was like Video Production Company Melbourne, and that's, by the way, this is the one which we recently did. So, and then we noticed the root domain, which was some other domain. And the client, they changed the domain. So that site was like Video Production Melbourne. There was a root domain that time. And this time they built out a page, but they built inner page for Video Production Melbourne. So what we did, we moved 301 from the root domain to the inner page, not to the root domain. You know what I mean? That's again brings me back to the same thing, Michael. What we are telling Google, what used to live there now lives here. So if we are telling that to move from this one to the root domain, which maybe the root domain is Sydney page, which doesn't make sense at all. So you're probably going to lose the rankings and all that. So yes, the root URL to URL.
All right. Terry says thumbs up. Zolt says, who do you recommend for, or what do you recommend for a magazine style site when there are many topics and keywords?
So
he means like a big blog with like a guest post type site, but magazine style site.
All right. So is that recommend from the off page side? Is that what you're saying, or from the on page? So let's cover both really quickly. So when we say on page for magazine style site, so you're gonna cover out so many topics. So always try to create. Think of this way: you're going to create multi sites inside one site. So all your silo and everything should be linked in that particular category. There is a plugin actually which we are using. It's very handy. You should try it. It's Link Whisper by a Longtail Pro guy. And what that plugin is, when we try to add any, like a new post, it just gives all the recommendations and everything. And there is an option literally over there that only show me pages from this category. So that's something you need to do it. So treat them as a different sites in itself for different topics, and try to build an internal silo between those topics itself. So it's gonna be helpful. From the off-page side, it's the same technique. I mean, like we use this technique in e-commerce sites mainly. That when you are building the backlinks for the homepage, it's a magazine style. You said for the homepage, try to build for brand. And for the inner page, whichever the page is, you need to start pointing out the backlinks that way. So, and when you actually create, let's say you are going after the guest post. So what you need to do is, rather than just leaving guest post, try to do a guest post stacking. Guest post stacking in a way, that's something we are doing currently at the moment too. Let's say for any particular client, we are going to plan 10 guest post links this month. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a guest post tagging. So once we get the first link, we from the next link, we send a link back to the client page, and then we send another link from that post to basically the Web 2.0, and even a backlink to the other guest posts which we have done. This is how you are actually interlinking all those guest posts together in a chain, that you are actually passing on the topical relevancy between all of them, and eventually that's going to help you get ranked in long term too. So it's kind of a way for building a tier 2 links, you can say. So that's
it's kind of an expensive approach to link building, but it works like a champ.
Exactly right. It's just we need to go and tell blogger, and it's little time consuming as well, because you literally need to wait for the first backlink, then only you're gonna send the next backlink. But once we get it, we need to plan it out properly. That's all I'm saying. But I hope that answers your query.
All right. Says, who do you use for guest posting? Well, let's take a look. I like to use this handsome devil right here with the big ears. So that's for real though. I use my own, and Rohin has kind of taught me how to do them. So I do it the same way that Rohin has been explaining here. But yeah, this is my service, and you know what? I am not ashamed to say that I think it's the best one in the market.
It's about like
I mean,
70 plus positive reviews on the service too, and they're gonna beat the expectations all the time.
Yep. Tanvir says, Chris, can you suggest some good PBN sellers from Legit? Absolutely. Let's go up here to my profile, and look at that. That's that same handsome devil. There are some other good ones too. Let me just not promote just myself. I gotta fix that.
No, it's Chris has got a pretty solid network. We are using links for.
Yeah, let me. I don't want to just be that guy. Let me show you some other great folks that do it. I've used Sackett. Sackett was on a while ago. It does a great job. I've never used Chris, but I know he has a lot of good reviews. Where's Hatred? And I'm sure all these are great. The only other one I've used is Hatred, though. Hatred has been in the business a long time, and he does a good job as well. You'll know him on Facebook and stuff as Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration. So those are the great ones, the good ones. Not just the good ones, but those are the ones I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
There. But like I say, try out different ones. Just kind of talk to people and see what they say. Shane, I think it's the same Shane as before, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's stop sharing the screen.
Yep.
Karsh says, are you going to do any money site audits? If you've done it before on channel, can you share the link maybe? I mean, he did some at the beginning of this live stream, and then we've done a few others on my YouTube channel. I'll drop the link to the YouTube channel right now.
Yep.
And that'll take you right to a one-click subscribe. So help a brother out. I believe I just said help a brother out. Zolt, and I apologize if I'm getting that wrong, says thanks. Thank you, Zolt.
Oh, thanks, Zolt.
Yeah, let's see. Florence says, do you two have a nickname? Like a celebrity couple name? No, we don't have that. We're not Rohin or anything like that. Lars says, thanks for all the good stuff. Thank you, Lars. Always a pleasure.
Lars.
Craig says, I know a good guy for On Page 2, hoping to get a review from Dr. On Page. Awesome. He's talking about himself there, in case that was unclear. And here is a link to my YouTube channel. It's chrismwalker.tv. And since we're winding down and we're getting to the promoting stuff portion of the live stream, if you would like Rohin and I to do your SEO for you, you can visit dfyseo.io. Soon that will be .com.
Yep.
And get everything you need done there. Oh, I did it wrong. Damn it. Pardon my language. Or don't. Either way. Let's try that again. dfyseo.io. Florence says, I mean individually. Oh, I don't have a nickname. I actually don't really care for a nickname. You have a nickname, Rohin?
No, I don't have a nickname either.
So I think that's pretty much it. It's been an hour. Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about or cover or promote?
No, I think that's it pretty much, Chris. The only thing what I like to mention is because these are kind of a very repeated things. What we can see in all the audits is try to focus on data. Data, you can't really neglect that thing. A lot of time people just jump and get the thing, outsource it to someone, and then they do it, which is not bad. But try to look at the data. Try to see what the top 10 results, because for one query, you're going to see the things are different. And when you try to jump on the second query, you're going to see it's completely different for a different location. So a car locksmith, Durban, or maybe car locksmith, any other suburb, which is say 10 kilometers away from Durban, you're going to see all a different results. It probably be homepage, which is ranking on that one for 8 out of 10 results on homepage. For the other one, it's maybe the inner pages or kind of a mix. So always try to look at the data, try to see what's going on, and try to see how you can make it better. If it's most of the listings has got a GMP, then you need to go for the GMP as well, because that's what the Google wants to see. If those are inner pages, even if you are getting an opportunity, and that's something we did it recently, that one of our client site was actually the homepage was sitting around position number 13. And when we started working on that one, we literally built an inner page for that one. And the client was like, why you are going to build an inner page if I've got a position 13 for a home page? We said, no, that's what the Google wants to see. And let's try to build an inner page. I can guarantee you the results gonna be good. And that's what happened. We smashed results. I don't know what came to my mind, and that we said that we want to go with the data. So it happens sometimes when you get stuck, you need to take a call kind of thing that, all right, if this is not working, let's try this. Because as SEOs, what we believe is we know a little more better the Google algorithm than the other guys. And that's all we are trying to do. So testing is only the key. We are doing a lot of data-driven things in our Facebook group. I'm going to release a lot of campaigns as well. So you guys can join it, SEO Launchpad Facebook group too. But we are rolling out a lot of things. We are trying a lot of models. We are working. It's something to work on data. That's all I'm saying. I can't really stress this more enough. Do a screaming frog crawl, collect enough data, see what is working on the top 10 results, and start to make your calls accordingly. You can see the results out of it too. And that's it.
All right. We got one more question, and then we're going to wrap up.
Sure.
Utkarsh, it says, this question is for Chris. Been trying to become a part of Iron Mastermind by Alex Becker, and I believe you're part of that too. I'm not actually. I was in Black Card, which was his older mastermind, but I'm not in Iron. How can I apply for it? Because I think that mastermind is referral based. Now, if you go to his personal profile, he promoted there. You'll find a link for it. A couple posts down.
It's 5,000 something, but it's still good.
And a couple of programming notes tomorrow. We will be on. I will be back on again because I'm here for you with my tag team partner, Jim Sabelico. We'll be be talking freelancing and all sorts of great stuff. So that'll be tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. So show up for that, or I'm going to mock you mercilessly. And then on Friday, and I don't have a link for that yet, but on Friday, we're going to be back again with Robbie Rizik, who is one of the top sellers on Legit, and he's a great SEO, good guy. So we're looking forward to that. You can check out Rohin's Facebook group at facebook.com/group/SEO Launchpad Mastermind. Just search SEO Launchpad and you'll find it there. Rohin will probably be back in another 2 weeks. I'm not quite sure what we're going to talk about yet, but we'll let you know as that gets closer. And thanks a lot, man. I know it's pretty late there. I'm sure you want to go get some rest. You're old, need to sleep, right?
All right. Thanks for that. All right. And you guys can leave the comments or something up here, and I'll check it out in the morning. If there is anything which need attention, so that Google Stack thing, I'll probably reply to that one.
All righty. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been great. I enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Most importantly, figure out what you want in life and go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.